Good day, folks. Mike Pemberton. I'm the new Premier for the Yukon. This is my first cough, and definitely my first Minister's meeting. I'm very much looking forward to hearing what Prime Minister has to say in regards to the trade agreements. It's having a major impact on the entire North as well as the country, but we're seeing significant impact, a negative impact throughout the North. But that said, because I'm the newbie on the block, I'm going to pass it over to my colleagues. Please welcome up to the mic Premier Simpson.
Thank you all very much. It's an honor to be here. First, I want to say that I'm very thankful to our host, Premier Ford. He's shown the best of Ontario to us, and I'm very thankful for him. I also want to thank the Prime Minister for coming here, appearing in person during these turbulent times. I know that it gives me comfort, and hopefully it gives the country comfort to know that we're all working together. I also wanted to take a moment to thank my colleague, Premier Akeeagok, P.J., who's announced that he is not running again. He has been a mentor to me, even though he's a few years younger than me. I'm his elder, but I've learned a lot from him, and I want to thank him for his dedication to Nunavut, to the North, and for helping us advance the profile of the North and the Arctic during these very critical times. So I'm anxious for the meeting today. I think it's going to be a good discussion. I expect talk about major infrastructure projects, about how we're going to move those forward. Of course, in the Northwest Territories, we already have a one project, one review system. And proponents who know our system know how to work through it, and they're given certainty because baked into that system is Indigenous engagement. Our system is based on modern treaties codified into legislation. So we are open for business, and we look forward to advancing some of our major projects, including the Arctic Security Corridor in partnership with Nunavut, as well as the Mackenzie Valley Highway, which will help the Canadian Armed Forces by connecting the NORAD forward operating location in Inuvik with the rest of Canada, really. It's a critical supply line for the military, and we look forward to discussing that. And of course, the Tulsan Hydro expansion, which will help us access, help us power the mines for our rich critical minerals in the Northwest Territories. Thank you all very much. I'd like to hand it over to P.J.
Thanks, R.J. Yeah, thanks everyone. Very honored to be here. I want to really thank my colleagues here who have been real champions to bring the Arctic to the forefront. Very excited, and yeah, I want to thank Premier Ford as well for hosting us here. It's a beautiful part of the country. We feel very privileged to meet the incredible people that are here. And with that, I very much look forward to having really good discussions with the Prime Minister as well. I want to thank him for his leadership. He's really brought us all together, as well as our Chair, Premier Ford, to have real conversations at the moment. And I think the Arctic with the three territories, we bring a lot of certainty. Very much looking forward to having conversations of bringing nation building, the Arctic Security Corridor, the Grays Bay Road and Port Project, as we are looking at different countries like China, bring research ships right across the Arctic. There's never been a more important time to invest in the North, and that we are ready. And I think Canadians are ready to see investments happen across the Arctic. And we've really brought not only shovel-worthy projects, but shovel-ready projects that are being led by Indigenous organizations, in Nunavut specifically with Inuit. The Grays Bay Road and Port Project is one, has so much potential for critical minerals, will open up, but also it will assert our sovereignty in the Arctic. We have the Akeeagok Hydro Project with the Northern Operational Hub that was just announced recently. You do need firm power, basic infrastructure as we start seeing more investments in military that is dual use, so we very much look forward to seeing that. We see the deep sea port in Akeeagok being a strategic project as well. That really falls under the Canadian Coast Guard, but now that falling under the Department of Defense. Very much excited to see the 5% push, and I think we have really exciting projects that are really nation building and that we are ready to see the advancements of those. Also, we have the Akeeagok Hydro Fiber Link, which would be the first connection between the south to the north. That would bring clean, firm power, but also bring fiber to the Arctic. So very much look forward to the conversations today with my colleagues. with all the premiers across this country, as well as with the Prime Minister. Thank you,
Do you
everyone.
want the Prime Minister to drop the emissions cap?
That's a really good question. I think that's one where we see in Nunavut the importance around these big projects. I really focus on the big nation-building projects. We've been very strategic in bringing Indigenous Inuit organizations who are the proponents for these projects, and we really feel there's an opportunity for us to open up to do true nation-building. I don't think many Canadians realize just the infrastructure difference between the North and South. And this is a moment where we really see an opportunity to do nation building. And at this point, we're really laser focused on the 4 projects that are being led by Inuit. We're supporting as a government for those projects to advance. They're already in the regulatory process. What's needed in advancing them is actual investments from Canada. We're there as a territorial government. Inuit organizations are there. They are the proponents, and very much look forward to seeing Canada to come to the table and to not just talk about it, to actually invest in them at this point.
Is the Arctic coming up in negotiations with the U.S.?
How
so?
It absolutely is. The Arctic is really a very important part. Having discussed this with the Prime Minister during the past First Ministers meetings, it's really a strategic card that we hold. And I think we bring a lot of certainty to it. As a Premier for Nunavut, we've really put forward dual-use infrastructure that really asserts our sovereignty. I think it's important to acknowledge that Canada has acknowledged that we haven't invested enough in the Arctic, and when you look at the vulnerabilities as a country, it is in the Arctic. As a Premier, we've really put forward solutions. We're not just here talking about challenges or the barriers we've seen, but we're actually coming here to bring solutions to the table, and I think we've done that. And the investments that we've talked about does assert our sovereignty. You need healthy communities to assert your sovereignty, and these dual-use nation-building infrastructures address all those, whether it's bringing economic prosperity, economic reconciliation, but also serving the needs of defense and the push for us to be able to invest up to 5%, which we're very pleased to see that commitment. And I think the Arctic really gives Canada the opportunity to see those. And I'm not sure if my colleagues want to speak as well to that.
What was the question again?
Is the Arctic playing a role in negotiations with the U.S., and if so, how?
Yeah, and so we're not at the table for those negotiations as territorial premiers, but as my colleague said, we have been informed that yes, it is at play. And when we went down to Washington, D.C. as the Council of the Federation, we heard from a lot of lawmakers, a lot of individuals in Washington, and we have a lot of allies down there. And our allies down there were concerned about the Arctic and the security infrastructure in the Arctic. So the Americans are concerned. If you look at the polls, the majority of Canadians want to see more investment and more investments in our Arctic military and infrastructure. And so it definitely looms large right now.
Would you support the Golden Dome in the Arctic?
The Golden Dome, as in.
The missile defense.
You know what? That's what this is why I'm so thankful that we have a Prime Minister who deals with these international issues.
Premier, I wanted to talk about yesterday. We heard Indigenous leadership in the South talk about consultation needed with moving forward on economic projects. I'm wondering, as you talk about Indigenous consultation being built into the process that you have in the North, what lessons do you think Ottawa and the provinces need to take from what the Territories has been able to accomplish with consultation and still being able to put forward economic projects?
The biggest thing is trust. Indigenous people across Canada have a multitude of reasons not to trust the government, not to trust industry. And so what we need to do is change that relationship. And so what we do in the Northwest Territories is we work hard to change that relationship. We have the Council of Leaders, which convenes all Indigenous government leaders from around the territory. And we have those discussions. We have bilateral meetings with Indigenous governments. So dialogue is what's important here, ensuring that we can build that trust. And that's what's going to move these projects ahead faster and more efficiently. And ensuring that there is Indigenous proponents and Indigenous ownership in these projects as well. We want communities to benefit, and we want the Indigenous peoples whose land these projects are being built on to benefit.
And do you believe these projects can move forward?
Oh, I think we got to go. Sorry, thanks everyone.
So sorry, you guys.
Thank you.
Be respectful.